Hey everyone, welcome to the next episode of our podcast. This week's energy is all about certainty and tapping into the highest level of certainty, which is certainty beyond logic. Kabbalists explain, and one of the great Kabbalists, Rav Ashlag, Rav Ashlag of our generation, he explained that the greatest moment of his life was when he reached the place of complete confusion, where he did not see the future, did not see how his problem would be solved, did not see where his redemption would come from. When he reached that moment in life, where nothing in his ego or his knowledge about life or his historical experiences about life showed him how his problem would be solved, and he reached this complete point of darkness, he said this was the greatest moment of his life. For he knew at that moment that his body consciousness, his ego, was completely shut down because it had nothing to attach itself to. And all that was left was his soul that shined. And this was the moment he became completely like God. And it's a very powerful thing. We find comfort when we know. We find comfort when we achieve. We find comfort when we're in love. We find comfort when we have the warm embrace of someone. We find comfort when we receive compliments. We find comfort when people accept us and we achieve things in life and the world celebrates us. That's when we find comfort. But we've also learned that 5 minutes after the clapping is over, we go back to who we are and we feel empty. Why? Because if our happiness is contingent upon what the outside world gives us, it's a sugar high of energy. It lasts for a moment and then we're insecure all over again. However, the greatest level of fulfillment is when our soul shines. The soul shines greatest when the ego and the body consciousness have no oxygen. And that is in a time of confusion. And before every great miracle, because we need periods where we have miracles. We need periods where we see results. But these are results that the Creator is giving us via people because we did spiritual work, because we built a vessel, because we had certainty in times of darkness. Now we have the vessel that the Creator can give us the prize, the fulfillment via people. This kind of fulfillment lasts forever, and it will not feel like a spiritual sugar high. When we feel the ups and downs in life is when we are looking for it and taking it from the outside. It's not that we're waiting for the Creator to give it to us at the right time, in the right way, in the right vessel. But it is more because we are impatient. And so we reach over the line and we tell the Creator, you don't know what you're doing, so I'm going to go manipulate this world to get someone to like me. I'm going to manipulate. It's like imagine there's somebody that you find to be very attractive, maybe at the gym. And so you time exactly when to get to the gym and when to do it and what machine to go on and what you're going to look like and how you're going to, all of these calculations and complicated schemes just to get someone to notice you or to ask someone out. This is us reaching over the line and doing the Creator's job. What if you did all these complicated schemes and you actually got someone to like you, but this wasn't the soul that was meant for you, and now you spent the next 3 years of your life entangled with a soul that wasn't meant for you because you wanted to manipulate this universe, and instead of allowing something to come to you, you forced something to come to you through your own selfishness. And the Creator gives us the free will to have both paths. And yes, eventually we will all have our soulmates. And eventually we will all have our sustenance. We will have our healing. We will have our wisdom. We will have everything eventually. But our free will in this world is to choose how long it takes us to get there and how much pain we may have to go through to get there. So Kabbalah explains that the greatest moments of our lives is when nothing is happening, when the results are not there. And I'm not saying that we should live in this world forever. I'm personally a very result-oriented person. I've learned through my teachers, if the results aren't there, it also means you've done something along the building of the vessel. The spiritual work is not there. But you want the result to come from the Creator, not a scheme that our insecurity and our lack put forth to get a result. Because then you will have a sugar high. You will get what you want. You will get that apology. You will get someone to like you. You may even go to your boss and say, boss, unless you give me a promotion, I'm leaving. And he's so scared to lose you in the position, he gives you a promotion. But long term, he's going to remember that you held him at gunpoint to give you what you wanted instead of having a more proactive conversation with your boss. A spiritual conversation would be, I desire to be at a certain level in your company. I desire one day to be able to make a certain amount of income. Please show me what I must do to earn this level. Please show me what I must do to get to the level that I know I'm meant to get to. How can I serve your company best? How can I serve our customers best? I desire to earn this. And look, if you want to say, hey, I have other companies who are offering this amount. I don't know what to do with it. In fact, I'm not saying I deserve this today, but these companies do exist. You may say that, but make sure you're not saying it from a place of manipulation to try to convince your boss. Because something I've learned in my company, actually, I once had an employee where I said, I want to give you a raise. And he said, let me think about it. I said, what do you mean? Who says, let me think about it? I'm giving you a gift. And he said to me, I've seen what happens to people when they get their raises too quickly. I said, what do you mean? He said, what if you gave me a raise and then the next 3 months, I cannot perform according to this new promotion you gave me, this new raise you gave me. I'm most likely going to be chosen to be fired. So I rather take my time and truly know that I can earn the promotion and the raise that you desire to give me. This is a trustworthy employee. One that is seeing the big picture, one that desires a long-term relationship. It's very much like when two people get together and they desire to withhold intimacy in the beginning, physical intimacy, so that they can get to know each other more. Why? This is allowing a vessel to be built, a spiritual vessel to be built so that you can have a long-term connection. And we're not here to judge. We're not here to say you should wait or not wait. Kabbalah is just about explaining energy. If a person told me I have no desire for a long-term relationship, I just desire intimacy, I would say, go have intimacy. Your goal will be achieved. The problem is when a person says, I have one goal, but they don't understand the spiritual laws, so they do actions that are impeding them getting to that goal. This is what Kabbalah is about. It's not about guilt. It's not about fear. It's not about fear-mongering you and making you feel bad or ashamed. There's no point in that, and nobody changes from fear and shame. Kabbalah is about education, learning the spiritual laws and learning that no matter what you choose, you're protected. No matter what you do, you will get to where you need to get to. Because if you make spiritual decisions under duress, under the duress of fear, under the duress of what's going to happen, the Zohar is clear. Actions done from fear are the lowest level of spiritual actions. We will not get to where we need to get to. I have learned in my time how important it is to make people feel comfortable in the decisions they make and make sure there is no guilt, shame, or fear that is motivating them. For these decisions will not last. We should not treat our children this way. We should not treat our students this way. We should not treat our family members this way. We should not guilt our children to getting married at a certain time or to a certain type of person. We should educate without agenda. We should explain spiritual laws without our personal attachment to how they live those spiritual laws. Not because we don't care, but because we absolutely care about their soul. This is the energy of this week. It's all about certainty. The strength to have certainty beyond logic when your ego's not involved. The strength to be able to let go of your personal attachment and your selfish agenda or our selfish agenda we might have to an outcome. If a certain outcome is not happening, it's not because you're not a bad person. It's not because you're even doing something wrong. It's because the Creator is waiting for a vessel to be built. And you have the choice to build now or to delay. And everything is okay. Everything is okay. In my time, I've also seen so many people put pressure on themselves and be perfectionists. I too am guilty of this. For those of you who know me well, I too want everything to be perfect. And when you want something to be perfect on the outside, you push for perfection on the inside. But there's a fine line when that perfection leads into an autoimmune, a spiritual autoimmune response. Think about what the immune system is supposed to do. It's supposed to attack an unhealthy virus that is in your body, an invader. Thank God for the immune system, it can do that. What is an autoimmune disease? When your immune system starts to attack the healthy cells. And when we beat ourselves up because maybe, I don't know, you have anger issues, control issues, neediness, and you beat yourself up, yes, it's true that the anger should be transformed. And it's true that the neediness should be transformed. But when you feel guilt, shame, and you're hard on yourself, you're also killing all the healthy cells. You're also beating up your soul. You're actually creating a spiritual autoimmune disease. And I think our world, all of us, myself included, we suffer from the spiritual autoimmune disease. And there is a big chance we're passing this on to our children. There's a big chance we're forcing this on to the people that we love. There's a big chance that we're putting this on the people who look up to us. So ask yourself the question, are you pushing someone to be something that they're not ready to become? Are you pushing someone to change because it fits your lifestyle more? Or are we accepting them for who they are, how they were created, how the Creator created them? You know how many phone calls I've gotten from parents? In my 22 years of coaching and guiding people, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten the phone call. I just found out that my son or my daughter is gay. What does this mean? What do I do? What's the spiritual meaning? I'm not saying that every time, the parents were against it. Sometimes it was just hard because it wasn't what they expected. The answer was always the same in each case. The Creator created your child exactly the way they were meant to be created. For their soul, for your soul, and for the world's soul. We're not here to opine on who's a good soul, who's a bad soul, who's positive or negative. And anybody who does is disconnecting their own soul from the light of the Creator. The first step is to accept that the Creator has created this reality the way it is. Once you accept that, then the Creator will guide you and show you what to do and how to love and how to care. This is the week of certainty. This is the week of acceptance.